Hello. A few months ago, Easter, I was home from uni and I was just heading back up north on the train. The train had only been going 5-10 minutes. We'd only just left the station and I saw in the field right next to the railway line what looked to me like World War II era sort of concrete pillboxes, and I thought, no way, I had no idea that they were anywhere near to me. I haven't walked this area where I am now extensively, so I didn't know they were there, but that's what they look like. So I get on Google Maps when I get to uni, Google Earth, and I get down there because I can't see them anything in that field on an OS map. I can't even really tell which field it is I'm looking for on an OS map. But Google Earth showed me that a field had pillboxes in. Several fields, in fact, along the railway line had pillboxes in, or again, looked like pillboxes. There's a train there. But that's certainly what I was being led to believe, that in this field and these fields there are pillboxes. So I thought, wow, that's cool. I wonder if I could walk to those in a day, because that would be pretty cool, you know, history. But then I thought, what would be even cooler is if I could camp in one, perhaps do my first ever stealth camp in an abandoned World War II pillbox that is just a hike away from my house. And that's what we're going to try and do tonight. So obviously it's the summer now, end of the summer holidays. I go back to uni once again in a couple of weeks. However, where's my style? Anyway, I wanted to squeeze this camp in if I could in the summer before I went back to uni again for year 3. But before I went pitching off into the dark with no idea what was out there really other than a vague notion, I thought probably a good idea to go on a recce hike. So a couple of days ago, let's see if I can do this with one hand. A couple of days ago, I got my bag on, got out here, and I found them. And they are pillboxes. And there was 3 possible contenders. And I've got one that I'd really like to sleep in, and another that might be a backup. Therefore, it's now a couple of days later, and I'm back out here again, only this time just before dark. I'm pretty sure the camera makes it look very bright, but it is now dusk, twilight, and I'm already starting to feel myself wanting to speak quieter and look around quite a lot for other humans who I want to avoid. As I say, I've never stealth camped before. I'm just going off what I've seen from YouTube channels that specialise in it. So some people love it, and the idea is you go in with a minimal amount of gear, hence just the one small backpack. Minimal amount of gear so that you're lightweight, you're fast. Go in late to a location, the more interesting and risky of being caught the better. Spend a night without being found, and then leave before anyone knows you were there in the morning, and leave it as if so that no one ever knew that you were even there. I left home at 7. I've been walking for an hour. Well, it's an hour and 15 I think it takes me to get there, because I timed myself coming back on the recce hike to see how long I would need to leave, and that was timed to get me there for sort of 8 o'clock when it should just be going dark, which it is now, so I'm pleased about that. Tomorrow, not only do I want to get out early to be away from people without being seen, but I also do have things to do in the day. Tomorrow I hope to get up at 5, be out of there by 6, home by 7 for some breakfast. Going back to the pillboxes, I'm guessing that they are there because in the Second World War and just before it, Britain installed thousands of defences ready for use in case of an enemy invasion. You know, troops on English soil, loads of different things, bunkers, pillboxes, great big concrete bollards that would stop tanks and vehicles, and great big blocks of concrete that were used to tie down barrage balloons to stop aircraft from flying low. And these are still here, a lot of them, all over the south particularly, and the coasts of the UK. And yeah, lots of them about to be found and explored and things like that. And I'm guessing that's why these pillboxes are here. I'm walking alongside now the Great Western Railway, which for an invading force coming from the south would have been a key sort of marker, I suppose, running east to west from London to Bristol across the country. So it makes perfect sense to me that they would have installed pillboxes and other defences all the way along the train line on the south side to prevent anybody from trying to cross the railway should they land here uninvited. So I'm now going underneath the railway. These bricks were laid by Isambard Kingdom Brunel's navvies as they built the railway. Still on a public footpath. I've done a little bit of road walking, but other than that, my entire route here has been on public footpaths. And we are now in the field with the pillboxes. I probably won't dive in immediately because it is still sort of twilighty light, and who knows, there may still be the farmer about. I don't know, I've not done this before. Footpath keeps going this way, so I think I'm just going to follow it until it's a bit darker, till I feel safe to duck in. But as we go past, I will show you each of them. So on my recce hike, this is the first one that I came to. God, I can't even see up here now. It is gloomy. It's also humid. Here's the first one. Now, this whole field, I think, has recently been muck spread. It pongs a bit. But coming up to it, of course, this is my first time seeing it in real life on the recce hike, and I saw these brambles by the entranceway. That's the old door there. It's been partially bricked up, and the entire wall here by the door is plastered with cow muck. It absolutely honks, so I've not got that any closer than this to it, and I reckon that's been done. He's muck spread the field, and then at the end, he empties out his spreader all over the door of that bunker to stop people like me from wanting to go into it. Or that's the only guess I can make. So having seen that on the recce hike, I immediately thought, not off to a great start. However, there is another one in this field. Let's go over to it now. There's also a brook running along the bottom of the field, just so you know. A bit of useless information. More important are those farm buildings over there. Does look like just a barn to me, and I didn't go over there at all when I was on the recce hike because I didn't want to be seen and show my face, kind of thing. But there is a farm over there, I believe, looking at the map. Haven't seen a farmhouse in person, haven't seen any windows, that kind of thing. There's no lights over there now that I can see, and the field everywhere I've been so far has been deserted. So fingers crossed. I don't want to get turfed out in the middle of the night. I don't think that would be very pleasant for me or the person turfing me out. Here is the second pillbox, and the stench of cow poo is still strong. However, although there is another pile of muck just to the left of the door, the wall is a lot cleaner, and I thought, this is much more promising. So here I was peering into this hole and thinking, is this it? Am I about to, in a couple of days, zoom out a bit, come back and try and get in there and sleep the night? I did climb in it and have a look around. I needed to know that I could get in and out. That took a bit of courage gathering. But I'll insert some footage here now of me having a look around inside. just got to get out now. And I needed to know what was inside and what the floor was like critically, because I haven't got the hammock. I'm sleeping on the floor tonight, and if there was broken glass or rubble or just mud and, you know, wet, I wasn't going to be able to do it. So I climbed in, but as you saw in the clip, it was nice and dry, a bit dusty, nice and dry. So the only thing that was really then making me a little bit concerned about sleeping in that one was potential residents. I will openly admit that I don't like spiders. I've never had a bad experience with them. I just cannot stand the things. If they get anywhere near to me, I immediately get very far away from them. So it was always in the back of my mind when planning this, but as I was looking around that bunker in the daylight, I thought, there's almost certainly a good few of them in here, and I know that they like to come out at night, so although I couldn't really see any, I'm trying to be quiet here. The prospect of having those eight-legged friends running all over me in that pillbox all night wasn't too appealing. As a result, I was pleased when I was walking around here, this area, and saw copses of trees like that one and like that one over there, and I thought, excellent. So if we do get there in the middle of the night and it's riddled with spiders and I don't fancy it, I can go and sleep in a little patch of woods. It will still be just as thrilling. Alright, the title of the video might not be as good, but I'd still be able to come out here and it wouldn't be a trip wasted. But then I popped into this field and I found over in the corner of it another pillbox. And to be honest, I couldn't believe my eyes. I don't know how much of this one you can see, but the entranceway is much bigger. It's essentially a 8 by 8 foot square room with that big door on it, and then a little side room to the side. I'll show you it properly again in daylight in the morning, but I couldn't believe my eyes. It felt so much more open, so much less spidery. The floor is just clear concrete. It is perfect, to be honest, and I'm confident I'm going to try and sleep in it tonight now I'm here. It's amazing. Those other two pillboxes are for personnel only. However, that one, the opening on that, and the opening at the front, at the aperture on the front wall facing southwards, or it's now facing into a hedge, keeping it nice and concealed, is much bigger. And there is a groove in the floor that I think had some kind of artillery piece in it, which is just even more mind-blowing. Obviously there's nothing there now, but yeah, it's amazing. Really amazing. Bit unsure what to do now though. I'm stood out the front just listening. I'm thrilled at the prospect and I'm thrilled that I'm here. I'm sweating with nerves, and also it is very humid, like I said. And it's only just hitting me now, I suppose, that it is only 20 past 8 and I don't really want to go to bed just then. So if I do get inside and set up, I've just got a couple of hours to kill in the dark without putting a light on, of course, to avoid attracting attention. Although realistically there's so few buildings in any direction, it would probably be okay, but better to be safe than sorry, right? Put the red light on a bit more discreet and I'll try and show you around. I have just been inside. One little resident I can ignore. It does still feel creepy, even though I've just been around it and I know it's empty. It's amazing how it echoes. There's the front aperture, very big. See the mounting points there in the floor. 1, 2, 3. For what I can only imagine was a big old gun facing that way towards the south. Gun port, entryway, and then round here, clearly there has been a party at some point, but there's another gun port, 2, 3, an old bird's nest, and somewhere for people to take shelter if they were fighting. Here comes a train. I wonder how many of those will go past through the night. It's a little spooky in here, I won't lie. But I think I'm gonna do it. I must be mad. Apologies, you probably can't see a lot, but I'm just having a look at the floor where I think I'll probably sleep. And like I said, I'm amazed how clean it is, really. It is dry concrete with a bit of moss here along the sides. There's some rocks which I can remove, but no glass. Ooh, a small animal bone. That's interesting. Get rid of that. And the rocks. Yeah, I've got some gloves with me. I think I might as well get my bag in here. Get my bag in here and try and set up my bed, I suppose. It's amazing how much I keep stopping to just listen. I don't know how I'm going to sleep. I'm so on edge. I don't know if I'll be able to just relax enough to sleep in it, but more partly because it's a bit spooky in here, but also because just being out and not knowing who's about and who might come along and not want me to be here. But anyway, deep breaths. My smallest sleeping bag, no bigger one would fit in my bag, and an early birthday present, a Thermarest Neo-Air X-Therm, the Rolls Royce of sleeping mats, and the one that every single outdoorsy YouTuber has and that I have watched for many, many years, and they all sing its praises relentlessly. So, big tree, quite a big expense. But yeah, I've used it multiple times already this summer. That's why I got it early ahead of my birthday, because I knew I was going to do a lot of camping in the summer. That was just a leaf, Chris. But I was a bit anxious bringing it on this camp because of not knowing what the floor was going to be like. Broken glass, thorns, etc. in the bottom of a bunker. Who knows what might pop it. As a result, I've brought like 4 different ground sheet things that I could put down to protect it. However, it's so nice, the floor in here. I've just gone for 2, the normal footprint of my tent that I've used hundreds of times as a ground sheet, and an extra bit of plastic underneath. I think, to calm my nerves, I might put the kettle on. Anybody remember this thing? I showed it to you once before in a short when I was camping in the garden. It's a little gel fuel stove, little tin, nice and compact. And then I had difficulty with raising the vessel of water. Oh, that's great. Damn it. I had difficulty in the past with raising the vessel of water high enough to not snuff it out. So I fabricated myself a little tripod to raise up the said vessel and thought that had solved the issue, but that's not lit anymore. Stand by. Seems it needs some modification, but at least it's working. It should still heat up my water for a coffee. By the way, what I thought was moss on the floor is actually just like dirt and dust. So with my gloves on, I've just scraped it away and wiped it all to the sides and left myself a lovely little clean sleeping bit down here. Well, I won't lie, I don't think it actually is capable of boiling water. But it's hot at least. It'll do for coffee. And then to extinguish, move that out of the way, which gets very hot, and starve it of oxygen. There we go. To leave everything to cool down. Managing to relax a bit now, slightly. I've got my history magazine to read, and it is just gone 9 o'clock, so I'm aiming for lights out at 10, so I can get hopefully plenty of sleep before we're up and at 'em. Well, I've been reading my magazine, I had my coffee, I also went for a little stroll in the field, and yeah, feeling much better now, feeling more comfortable, more relaxed. Haven't seen anybody, heard anything too alarming, just some animals moving about, normal kind of stuff, and yeah, I'm ready to try and go to sleep now, so unless anything crazy happens or I get woken up with a shotgun barrel in my face or something, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
Good morning. It is 5 o'clock. To be honest, I thought it would be lighter than this, but guess not. I didn't sleep much, I won't lie. I got a couple of hours sleep at the start of the night, and then I woke up for at least an hour and a half in the middle of the night, and then just managed to get a couple more hours at the end. So not fantastic. I just couldn't relax, basically. I couldn't get myself in a state of mind for sleep for some reason. I don't know, maybe just residual nerves and that, but oh well, we live and learn. Who knows? Maybe if I do another one, it'll be different. You can only try it and find out, can't you? Coffee time.
Don't know how much of it you can see, but this is the sort of light levels we're dealing with. A kind of very blue dawn. I still can't see anything of the pillbox. The trains did at least stop after sort of midnight. Getting brighter. It's a bit better. Yeah, getting brighter. I'm all packed up and ready to go. It is 10 to 6, I believe. Yep, just gone. Before we do though, sod it. No one's gonna know, or it's not gonna matter if I get seen now. Let me put the light on. You can see it a bit anyway now, a bit better. But there it is. This is the best I can show you without coming back again in full daylight. Let's go inside and just make sure I've not left anything behind. Floor, all along there where I've slept. I'll kick that dirt back across in a minute. Did manage to kick my kettle over the first time, so that was rather irritating. Took longer to reboil it again. But yeah, gun ports. Huge aperture there for a big old gun there mounted at 1, 2, 3 points there. I guess the door was so big to allow the sound and the pressure to get out from when that thing went off, and also to get the thing in, of course, and perhaps to allow for recoil as well. What wicked bit of history. Like 2 types of pillboxes. And then round the corner, gun port with the secondary room for personnel. Anyway, I'm happy that I managed to brave it out, the creepy-crawlies and the spooky bunker, and sleep the night in the pillboxes I wanted to. Happy I didn't get caught, of course. We're up and away long before anybody else is up. Looks like quite a nice morning actually. Clear skies, and we are just coming back through the mucky field, passing the other 2 pillboxes. It was my second choice of accommodation for the evening. Happy I ended up in the other one though. Much nicer than being in there. Hello. Good morning, campers. Anybody else? No. So yeah, just gonna walk home now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I shall see you in the next video, and I should manage to get a couple more of those done and filmed before I have to jump back on that there railway excuse me, and return to the north. Goodbye.